For understanding the coordinate systems, we consider three reference directions. We consider x, y and z coordinates. For every coordinate there will be positive as well as negative direction. We consider x-axis which is coming towards us. It will also have negative component which is going in opposite direction. Similarly, we will have positive y-axis and negative y-axis. We have to imagine our objects in three-dimensional space. So in this session we are going to discuss about spherical coordinate system. Many students feel that spherical coordinate system is difficult to understand, but we will try to make it more simple and more easy to remember. In previous session we have discussed about cylindrical coordinate system. We have seen its differential components and volume. For every coordinate system we will have three directional components. For cylindrical, we are having rho, phi and z. For these three differential surface, we have three expressions. When we multiply all these differential surfaces, we get differential volume. For three directions, we will get three unit vectors or direction components. We also discussed about the volume of cylindrical coordinate system. So in cylindrical coordinate system, we have seen rho as one directional component. We have seen phi as another directional component and z, which is the third directional component. By using these three values, we can identify any object or point in cylindrical space. Now today we have to discuss about spherical coordinate system. We had also seen the comparison between Cartesian and cylindrical coordinate system. For Cartesian, we have three direction components as x, y and z, whereas the z is same. So the difference between the volume of a cube, that is Cartesian coordinate system, and volume of a cylinder is that we get one curved path. Now, if we consider spherical coordinate system, a shape like an earth, then we will get two curved shapes. So our equation for the differential surfaces and lengths will be quite changed. So let us see how it changes. Spherical coordinate system is very simple in looks. It is a simple shape like an earth. Now what is our work? Our work is to identify given point P in space. Suppose this is a point. If there is a point charge and if you extend this point charge, which shape we will get? If we increase any point in all the direction, we will get a spherical shape. So for a point charge, we have to use spherical coordinate system. We have to identify the position. We will have one source. We will have one destination. We have to see how source and destination are connected together. So like any other coordinate system, we will also have. So in spherical coordinate system, we have to consider three coordinates. So first coordinate we consider as radius r. So first thing which we require to identify anyone's position on the earth will be the radius if we want to calculate with reference to the center of earth. So first parameter we require as radius. Second parameter we require as one angle which is coming from the apex. So this is our apex. So from this apex, where is how much angle is given to that particular position. My point may be anywhere on this particular place. Now this is the second parameter we require. It is given by angle theta. Third one we require is angle phi. It is same like a cylindrical shape. So we have one curved path like this, and second curved path is like this, the complete rotation. So this angle is given by phi. So we will have three components as r, theta and phi. Now let us see the constant planes. So first one is radius constant plane. Any point will have a fixed radius from the origin. We start calculating origin from the point where all three axes meet. It is like center of the earth. So this radius starts from 0, from the origin. So we have to use the limits of these particular parameters. So for radius r, the limit starts at 0 and this radius may go up to infinity. So limits for r are given as 0 to infinity. So this is our first parameter. Second parameter, we require the angle with apex. So it starts from this vertical axis, positive z axis, and it goes to negative z axis. Virtually it looks like a constant conical plane, but in actual we don't have any cone inside sphere. Many students they get confused that there is a separate cone inside sphere, but it is not true. For showing the angle we use it, that we will see in 3D animation in some time. Till then you have to remember that we have to consider a angle from the apex. So first angle is, say, angle theta, which we calculate from apex. Then we may have radius r. The third angle we require is angle phi. This plane shows a constant phi plane, because on this particular plane everywhere this angle will be same. If this is 30 degrees, for this entire plane this angle will be 30 degrees. So this angle, the second angle, which is getting calculated from, say, positive z axis to negative z axis, will have limits from 0 to pi. And the third angle phi, it is having a complete rotation. So this will have limits from 0 to 2 pi. We have to remember these limits and we have to understand these limits. One more way to understand the angle theta is that we have to start calculation of this particular angle from positive z axis, which is going towards negative z axis. So we can start from theta equal to 0. Then if we consider this image of a lotus and its reflection inside water, so as it opens, with our angle will also increase. Say from 0 degrees it may go to 45 degrees, then it may have a total circulation. It may go into a positive side as well as negative side. The positive side and negative side, it will have total 0 to pi rotation. So here also you can see we start from, say, theta equal to 0 degrees, then theta equal to pi by 2, then theta equal to pi. So limits will be 0 to pi. This angle we calculate only for this z axis. So if we want to identify a location of point P with reference to the intersection of all these three planes, that also we can understand here. Say or this point P is there where all these three shapes are getting attached. Here we have only a sphere. Conical part is just to represent the angle theta, and this plane, like a paper, is used to show the angle phi, which is from 0 to 2 pi. We have to remember that this plane can rotate, because this angle we have to calculate from the entire circle. So we show it like a plane. So without using them, if we take the cross-sectional area of a sphere, in many books a diagram like this is used. So in few books we can see a diagram like this. It shows the cross section of sphere. We should not get confused that I am not able to see the exact sphere. So this is also representing the the three coordinates which we require to locate a given point P. So these three are, say, radius r from the center, angle theta from z axis, and angle phi with respect to this xy plane, the complete rotation. In few books, r radius is also represented by rho. These are interchangeable. So according to the requirement, you can change this notation. So without using anything, we can represent point P in space for spherical coordinate as radius r, which is coming from origin, angle theta with z axis, and angle phi with respect to x, y plane, the complete rotation. Now, if we want to check out the lengths and surfaces of a sphere, let us check out a small differential surface. For making small differential surface, we have to consider small differential lengths. So differential surface, we have seen that we may have three differential surfaces for three coordinates. So if I have r, radius r, so there will be one radius r component which is going in radius direction. It will give differential surface for radius, and similarly we will have d phi and d theta. So these differential lengths, for radius it is dr, differential length same, which is coming from the origin and going outwards. So this differential surface for this dr is given by differential surface suffix r, dsr. So for this constant plane, it will be given as the product of remaining two. Now what are the remaining two? Now second component is theta. Theta is coming from z axis. So this direction ds theta is having a curved path. So what we have to do, we have to use additional radius along with that, as we have done in the cylindrical. So it will be written as r d theta. And the third one, the phi angle. So now while calculating phi, this is complete rotation. So it will have this particular angle and also the angle coming from this top. So due to that, we have to add one sine theta along with that and additional r. So it will become r sine theta d phi. This will be the third differential length. So if I want to calculate differential surface for radius constant, radius is constant, so who is variable? Remaining two lengths, length of theta and length of phi. So this dsr will be product of these two terms. And if we want to calculate ds theta, so if ds theta is constant, we have to take multiplication of ds phi and dsr. So let us see how we get that. So while imagining the differential volume, we have to pull out a small area from our sphere, like from watermelon. If we take out small portion, how it will look like. So we have to imagine some shape like that. Here it is shown as straight lines, but actual it will have curved path. So this shape will be curved like this, a bite of mouse. So for this, there will be calculation of volume. So these are the differential lengths. So differential volume will be product of all three differential lengths. So we have to take multiplication of dr, r d theta, r sin theta, and d phi. So it will be simplified to r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. And differential length is addition of all three differential lengths in particular direction. So it is given by dl is equal to dr plus r d phi plus r sin phi d theta. So let us now check these concepts in 3D so that we will get more clear idea. First, let us discuss the phi constant plane. For phi constant plane, we have to consider the complete rotation of a point P. So it will look like a plane rotating on. This is something like locating your position on the surface of Earth. So someone may have different values or different angles on the surface. So phi is the angle which makes a complete rotation to the Earth. So we require that particular position. Like we can see here, the tigers are moving on the Earth freely on a complete rotation. So this is one angle which we require. At what angle that particular point is located. Let us take one more example to understand why it is called as phi constant plane. Here we can see that two members are there. If there are 100 members also sitting on this particular plane and rotating together, on that particular plane their angle will be same at all the position. Like suppose that at this position, if their angle is 10 degrees, so the shorter person and the longer person both will have same angle 10. So on that particular plane, the angle will be same. The value of angle will be same throughout the plane, and this angle will have complete rotation from 0 to 2 pi. So its limits are from 0 to 2 pi. The next angle is theta, which starts from the z axis and it goes towards the negative z axis. So we require this one more angle to find out the position of an object, like we can see here in this example of Earth. Now we can imagine that these tigers are moving from positive z axis to negative z axis. This angle will have limits from 0 to pi. That is the second angle we require to find out the position of any given object in spherical coordinate system. And why this one is called as theta constant plane? Because if you observe any instant the position of this particular tiger or any other tiger placed on the same line will have same angle throughout that particular plane. So it is considered as the theta constant plane. Here we can see that the bigger guy and smaller guy are sitting on a conical shape at z axis where say theta is equal to 0. Then this shape will give same angle, both will have 0 degrees. As their angle changes from positive z to negative z, then also they will follow the same angle. So it is called as say theta constant plane. And third one is very simple, which is radius constant plane. Here you can see that the position on this particular radius on the outermost shell will have same radius from the origin, no matter wherever it is on the surface of Earth. As the radius increases, then also the outermost shell, outermost orbit, outermost place will have same radius. So it is called as radius constant plane. So these are the three constant planes of spherical coordinate system.